Hey everyone, I just uploaded the second spreadsheet in the new blog post announcing an upgraded version of my idea for a stadium hotel complex for the Oakland Raiders. The changes are these. First of all, the ticket sales, luxury box sales, even the personal seat license options sales are assumed to be low. In other words, with a specific pointing to personal seat license sales, I assumed them to be at 65%. Now, to put this in perspective, the original percentage sale of seat licenses for the Raiders when they came back from Los Angeles to here was 67%. So this is actually below that. 65% occupancy for hotels. I increased the room rate from $150 average to approximately $178 average, $175 average, which did make a difference because I was concerned that the hotel itself wasn't being paid for by its own revenues, so that minor adjustment changed things. But remember, it's still with a rate of 65% occupancy, not 100% at all. And not only that, the construction costs are still $510 per square foot for the hotel, which is beyond the high end for hotels according to industry standards. So the bottom line is, this is a really robust proposal. We still have $50 million left over when the bond costs are considered. We have over $870 million in revenue identified, $100 million from the Oakland Raiders directly, but also $288 million from luxury box revenue over a 30-year period. But get this, we have 300 new luxury boxes on the west side and the north areas and the in-zone areas as well, priced at $165,000 each, down from $180,000 originally. But the Cowboy Stadium luxury boxes are priced between $500,000 and $100,000, and that in an area with a media market not as highly valued as that in the Bay Area. So I don't want to hear this stuff about, well, that's the Cowboy Stadium. You have to understand media markets before you make those comments. So I ask people who are about to criticize this just because it's me, first of all, put your thinking cap on, read the spreadsheet, listen to what I say, do homework on municipal finance and bond issues before you criticize it, because many of you who have tried to criticize this have no knowledge of how munis work at all, none, zero, and then make your criticism. And for those who say, well, the Raiders won't do this or that, those are they're called one thing, folks. Are you listening? Negotiating deal points. The point is, and as long as you issue that kind of criticism, I will say, hey, look, all you're proving is that the money is there. It's just a matter of how it's shifted around a bit. But lastly, and the one point I'm really proud of, is I'm calling for an industrial development lease revenue bond. And that's where the bond underwriter would provide the protection for the issuer. The issuer, in this case, would be the Oakland Alameda County Joint Powers Authority, and the underwriter could be someone like a Goldman Sachs or any other organization. But the bottom line is, it's not a new thing. It's completely doable. And I might add, I believe it's something that's being considered in Carson, if that gives you any extra little incentive. But the bottom line is, this idea works. We're not calling for a $200 million public subsidy. We are putting in place ways to protect the public sector and at the same time give them $50 million that it can be used at when everything else is paid for, and $46 million in hotel tax revenue with just 6% rate as opposed to an 11% rate, because I want that additional 5%, for construction, if we can get that negotiated with the city, with the county, basically.